Hello everyone, welcome to today's session on uh, the basic difference between the component controller and the custom controller. Before looking into that, I tried my level best to uh, draw a picture which can easily make you understand how these two different types of controllers works within the component workbench. So basically, when we talk about the controller, whether it's a custom controller or a component controller, these are nothing but the data containers. So when I say data containers, so that means they will hold the data and will help us in order to transfer the data from one view to another view. So when we have such requirement of transferring the data from one view to another view, then as we know, like the lifetime of a view is still the point, when the navigation, let's say if you're navigating from view 1 to view 2, then the moment you leave the view 1 and reaches to view 2, the instance of the view 1 gone. So that means the data, whatever the data is there, it's gone. Basically, that's where the concept of container or the data container comes into play, where what we can do is where we can store the data whatever we want to transfer from one view to another into a global container, and at the time once we navigate from one view to another view, then we can utilize that particular data, um, you know in whatever way we want to use. So basically, as I said, this behaves as a data container when we want to transfer the data from two different views. So now the views can be within the component, and these two views can be uh, from two different components. So that's where the basic difference is. When you want to transfer the data from one view to another view within the component, so if you could see in this picture, this is component 1, and under this component 1 we have something called view, and this is view 1, and each view has its own controller class, and which ends with the underscore impl, and then it comes to underscore ctxt. This is the context class, and under which we have the nodes, context nodes. It can be the model node, it can be the value node as well, and next up in our further uh, tutorials we will clear you the idea what is the difference between the model context node, or value node, or the model node, or a value node. So basically, you can right now you can just think of these are the context nodes, and this is again a context node, this is again a context node of type model node, and this is again a context node of view 2. So this is view 2, and what happens is, because we are within the component, and within the component, and we can create a custom controller if we want to transfer some data from this, let's say if I say this is some data. Okay, so if some data needs to be transferred from this view to this view, then what we do is we hold this, we keep this data, we store this data into a container, and and then transfer it to this view. So how it happens is, this is done here and then here. Within the component, when we want to transfer the data between two different views, then we can go with the custom controller. And just to give you an idea, like in component we can have as many custom controllers based on whatever the requirement we have, but we can only have one component controller. Then we talked about the custom controller. Then what is the use of the component controller? Then in the same way, what we have the component controller in place, and the reason being is, if we want to transfer the data of one view which is in this component and we want to do the view which is available in this component too, then in that case our custom controller is not going to help us. In such cases we are going to take the help from another type of container which is a component controller, and instead of storing the data into the custom controller, and what we do is we will take help from the component controller which will help us to transfer the data from this view in this component 1 to the view of component 2. So in a nutshell, component controller helps us to transfer the data uh, between two views of two different components, and custom controllers helps us to transfer the data between two views of within the same component. And we can have as many custom controllers in a component, and we only can have one component controller. So that's where it's always important or recommended to not create many context nodes within the component controller if your work is getting done by using the custom controllers within the component. That means if you want to transfer the data between the views of a component, then you must go with custom controller instead of component controller. Hope you like this session, this basic understanding of the session, and then if you like it, just put your comments over here, subscribe this channel, and so that we will get some motivation and try to create some more tutorials free of cost for you guys in order to understand like how this component workbench works, and what is the controllers, and how they behave, and what are basic settings in order to transfer the data between the views of the same component or between the views of two different components. Thanks for listening to us. For now, that's all. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.